Hey everybody, it's Cousin Shannon from Iowa. I'm getting ready to try something I've never done before. I'm going to try to make homemade meatballs and pasta sauce. So the pasta sauce is not going to be homemade, but I am going to make some meatballs from scratch. I'm going to be using some stuff I found at Walmart. It's actually ground beef and ground pork mixed together in a roll. And I'm also going to use some lean ground beef. So let's get started on this. Okay, so I've got 2 pounds of the ground beef and pork mixed together, and then I have 1 pound of the lean ground beef. And to that, I'm going to add 2 eggs and a little bit of milk, maybe not even a quarter of a cup of milk. I always put milk in my meatloaf, so I'm going to say that's going to work. I don't have any recipe for this. I'm just gonna make it up. I had all this meat in the fridge, so I thought, let's make some meatballs. And then I'm gonna make some spaghetti squash that I grew in my garden. So that's what we're gonna serve the meatballs over. Put some pepper, black pepper in there, quite a bit of garlic, because we love garlic. And then for the meatballs, I usually in my meatloaf put actual onions and bell pepper, but I'm going to use onion powder in these meatballs. Don't ask me why, just doing it. And I got some Italian seasoning we're going to put in there. I always have Italian breadcrumbs on hand, so we're gonna put maybe 3/4 of a cup, somewhere in there, just to kind of bind it all together. And then we're gonna mix all this together into a good mixture, get it all incorporated together. I'm gonna get all this mixed up and then we'll come back for the next step. Okay, I've got the balls made, and as you can see, they're pretty good sized, probably almost a 1/4 pound. And I'm gonna put it in here with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm gonna brown it on the sides before I put it in the oven. Just to give it some of that char flavor, 'cause that's one of the best parts. You don't want to put it in there too many at a time. You want to be able to flip them over and not have them boiling fat. So I'm going to brown this on 4 or 5 sides, and then I'll get right back with you. Okay, here we go. I've got most of it browned on all the sides. So I'm going to take it off the stove. I'm going to put it in the oven at 375, and I'm going to let it bake for about 20 minutes. And next I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the spaghetti squash. So here's what I've done to the spaghetti squash. I cut it open, I scooped out all the guts, and I put a little bit of olive oil in each one and put salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. And I am going to stick it in the Instant Pot with a little bit of water. I'm going to set it for 8 minutes and then let it slow release for about 5 minutes, and we should have a spaghetti squash. So the meatballs have been cooking about 25 minutes, and now I'm gonna pour some spaghetti sauce over the top of it. I like Rao's spaghetti sauce, and I like that Aburrito, which is pretty spicy. Not too spicy for us, but it is spicy for some people. Rao's usually has a lower sugar content, that's why I'm using that. So I'm gonna pour some sauce over, and I'm gonna bake it another 15 minutes or so. Here is the meatballs, and I am getting ready to get the spaghetti squash out, and I'll let you see how I process that. Comes out of the oven, and all you have to do is scrape it up like that, and evidently I let it cook too long, so this is not working out very well. It either wasn't ripe or I cooked it too long, because it's supposed to come out like spaghetti and it is not. So sorry about that, guys. Big flop there. I'm gonna cook some spaghetti up real quick so there's pasta for my meatballs. So sorry, didn't work. You guys got to see my flop. I tried. Yeah, not good. No bueno. Maybe next time. Okay, the fun in cooking is discovering new things. So I pivoted from the pasta again, and now I have made mashed spaghetti squash with the meatballs. So this is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoy the meatball recipe anyway, and maybe next time I make spaghetti squash it will turn out. I've made it before and I haven't had this problem, so I think I just didn't let it grow long enough and it was not ready to be picked. So next time, have a good night.